Hello everyone and welcome back. In a video I made a few months ago called Monthly Recap, I mentioned that I wanted to make a sort of monthly series where I looked back on pictures that I'd taken that month that didn't necessarily make it into their own videos. However, for a few reasons I didn't manage to make them for the last month or two, but I thought I will bring them back and I will try my best to make this a monthly series, definitely from now, starting today. So I just thought I could break down a few things that happened this month about my photography, walk you through a few pictures that I've not shown you yet that I think are interesting that I've taken this month. And we'll start off with some gear. I managed to get this new camera. It's a Yashica Electro 35MC. It's a 35mm rangefinder camera that I managed to get for free. And I am very excited to shoot with it. I've never properly shot with a rangefinder before. I used a Vivitar 35mm for a very short period, never really used it. And this rangefinder is really basic. When you actually look through the viewfinder, there's pretty much nothing to guide you except a few symbols like a mountain, a group of people, and one singular person to help you when you focus. Other than that, there's really no help at all, but I'm really excited to use this camera. A lot of people call it the poor man's Leica, and yeah, I'm really excited to use this. I've read some stuff online about it. Apparently it takes really sharp photos. I'm definitely going to put a roll through this very soon and probably make a whole video on it, but I just thought I'd show off this nice bit of gear that I managed to get this month. Another thing that's been relatively new to me this month is I've been getting more into instant film. In my film camera collection video that I made a couple weeks ago, I mentioned I had two instant film cameras, my Instax Mini 40 camera and my Polaroid 600 Business Edition. Now, I mentioned that I didn't really like the Instax that much and that I never really used it just because I never really liked the quality of the images. I thought that the frame was too small and that the overall quality and colors just weren't good enough for the price of the camera. But I thought I shouldn't be too negative with this camera, and I've got quite a lot of film for it, so I thought I'm going to use it as much as I can, and because it's relatively small, it is easy to bring along with you everywhere. So although I've only taken a few pictures this month, it's far more than I've taken ever before, and yeah, let's break them down. So the first one here is of some stickers on a wall near the Easter Road Stadium in Edinburgh. Now, yeah, not great. You can see the flash in it. First of all, it's massively overexposed, which was my complaint I made in my film camera collection video. That is 800 ISO film, which is standard for this camera, but with the flash and just how the camera develops an image, they often come out overexposed if you want to use them outside, which I do find a shame. So this picture, nothing much to say about it. Then I got this picture of this cool car I found in town. Once again, I mean, it's fine, but I don't find anything crazy about this image. Now, the composition is nothing amazing and the picture itself is nothing crazy. I think it's more just the tones and the colors that I don't know, I can't really find an appeal to it. However, the last one I took was a picture of my girlfriend, and I must say I do like this picture a lot. It's the first picture where I think the camera actually did really well, and it was outside with a flash like the other pictures, but this one, I don't know, there's still something I really like about it. The colors are still way too washed out for my liking, but I think I am just expecting too much from instant film. In the back of my mind, I always think that somehow they're going to look like 35mm, but obviously they're not. And I just got to get my head around the fact that instant film isn't going to be extremely high quality just by the nature of how it works, and that part of the beauty of it is getting these slightly washed out, lesser quality frames, and I think it works for this picture here. It's relatively simple, this portrait of my girlfriend, but there's something, as I mentioned, I love about it. I love the flowers behind it. I like the timeless quality of this photo. It feels like it could have been taken in the 90s, even though it was taken last week. But I am very happy with this photo, and it has changed my opinion slightly on instant film. And I'm excited to use my Polaroid when I finally managed to justify spending that much money on Polaroid film. As I mentioned in my last video, it's ridiculously expensive. However, I do want to get around using Polaroid, as I think I will prefer it to Instax. But for once, I actually did enjoy a picture that I've taken with my Instax camera. Something else I did this month is that I found some negatives that I realized I never actually got scanned. I found them at the bottom of my drawer. So I took them to the lab to scan them, and they were actually some really nice pictures. I worked out they were taken on my Konica point and shoot camera, and a lot of these pictures didn't take. There was a problem with the camera where the back opened, so I was worried about how many frames were ruined, and a few of them were, apparently. However, there's a few pictures I do really like, mainly the ones that I took at Easter Road. Now, I mentioned Easter Road already twice in this video. If you watch my video I did about my picture that I took with Hibernian, you'll understand why. I've been there a few times to take some pictures, and these pictures were actually taken at a Hibernian game that I went to a few months ago. And I completely forgot about the fact that I even went to that game, to be honest, or the fact that I took pictures. These were taken on Kodak A1, and you'd never tell. These pictures were taken, it looks like during the evening with a flash, but yeah, the colors are just amazing. I find the saturation is really pushed, but I really do like it. I'm very happy with these images, and in fact they even appeared on the Instagram page Analog Football, which you can check out if you go into my tagged images on my Instagram, which will be linked below. I wanted to show with a few pictures I took with my girlfriend out in town once again on some Kodak Utramax 400, which was basically my roll of choice this month. I've really grown to like it. I like the 400 ISO and just the warm colors that I get with Utramax. I do like a lot, and it was sunset in Edinburgh. We went out into the centre of town and there was this beautiful flower bed in the middle of this park, and it just felt like spring, almost like summer, to be honest. So I took a few pictures of my girlfriends. As you can see, the colours are just amazing, and it's what really drawn me to Kodak Utramax 400. It's just these ultra bright colours that you can see, for example, in this image. No editing has been done whatsoever to these images. This is how they came straight back from the lab. So really happy with these images. The lighting is great, flowers look amazing, and probably my favorite pictures I've taken from that roll in particular. Last thing I want to cover in this video are some long exposures I took around town here in Edinburgh, and these are some of my favorite pictures I've taken to date. I drove past a few locations randomly one night and thought to myself, I really want to come back here and take some long exposures. And the night that I chose, which was a random night, the sky happened to be really orange, like glowing orange. And I think it's because it was very foggy here, and just the city lights created this amazing sky, which everything was just glowing in this yellowy orange tint. It was really surreal. So I decided to go and take some pictures. So I'm out in Edinburgh tonight shooting pictures because there's a really foggy sort of haze around, and I think it'd look really good on some long exposures. So I found this house, and you can see that there's a really nice orange glow behind the house, which sort of looks really surreal. So I decided I'm going to take a long exposure of that. We've got some Utramax 400 with my Canon A1 with the 50mm lens. So yeah, I was just going to take that now. I did light meter it, I'll double check, but I think it's at about 5.5 seconds. Yeah, I'll do about 7 to 8 seconds just to make sure that I've got a good exposure. So right, so second angle here is just a block of flats. So once again, I'll measure it. So a bit longer, they're saying 10 seconds. I'll do about 11 this time. There's this lamppost here in the frame, but to be sure. Yeah, really like these pictures, especially this one here. It's just got a really mysterious, sort of almost horror film vibes. This looks like it could be some sort of film cover from some 1970s horror film, but amazing. I love the sky. It looks edited almost, obviously it wasn't, but I don't think this image would have worked as well if it wasn't for that bright orange sky, so I think I was just very lucky to get that. And this location was pretty amazing, just this house in the middle of the city with its own little garden. It was just a real surreal experience to go there. The second image I also like a lot. I like the framing, I like the colors, they're much more saturated and obvious in this image. I just like the lighting and the look of it. It's sort of reminds me of an Edward Hopper painting. I think it's just a sort of cityscape and lighting, but a more modern take, obviously. But yeah, once again, very happy with these images. I ended up choosing a shutter speed that was way slower and added way more time than my light meter told me. I think I added about 5 seconds for each picture, and I'm glad I did. I feel like with most of my long exposures, I always end up adding at least 3 to 4 seconds. I always feel more comfortable if there's too much light in an image. It's easier to save than if there's too little light. You can't really do that much, especially on film. So I'm definitely glad I did that. And I've got a few more long exposures that I'm not showing in this video that I will show in a whole separate video that I'm making on taking pictures at night, which will be coming out in a few weeks. But that is what I got up to this month. As I mentioned, I'm shooting Kodak Utramax a lot more. Definitely a film I'm going to shoot much more in the future as well. I've been using my Instax a lot more, and I've got myself a new Yashica 35mm camera, which I'm very excited to shoot hopefully in the next couple weeks. I've got a few trips coming up in the next couple weeks as well, which I'll definitely be taking pictures on those. It'll be a bit of a change of scenery for the channel, hopefully, and I'm excited to share those with you. But in the meantime, I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you next Saturday, as usual, for a new video.